Assalamu alaikum. This is Rahila Hawar and my roll number is 27. The topic which I am going to present is thesis components. Most of the parts or components of the thesis have been discussed in part 1. Now I am going to elaborate its other components. As thesis has been previously discussed, then what is it? Thesis consists of large document that is given at the university's degree for the completion of BS, PhD or master's level. So let's have a look at its other components. Chapter 1 includes introduction. It is the most important part of thesis topic and it usually includes 3 to 4 pages. It consists of following points like we have to cover background, research problem, need for research, context, thesis statement. In background portion, we may describe previous discoveries, investigations and definitions. In research problem portion, we have to state broadly in question form and to explain our thesis demand that what we are going to do. Need for research. Who will get benefit? We must discuss applied and scientific contribution, that why we are doing this research. Context. We must add further information to clarify the research problem. That is, we have to give description about our research problem, that what we are going to do, why we are going to do, how we are going to do. Thesis statement. It usually appears at the conclusion of the introductory paragraph. It offers a concise summary of the main point or claim of a research paper, that it is the most important part or statement of our thesis which is given at the conclusion paragraph of introduction. So it must be brief, concise. Chapter 2 includes literature review. It is the prolonged part of introduction and usually consists of 15 to 20 pages. It consists of following points like we have to cover overview, literature, hypothesis, scope of the study, objectives. In overview, we have to just give overview of our topic, like what we are going to do. On just overview, we have to just give theoretical foundations. Here, no mathematical calculations are needed. In literature part, the articles which we have read before. Now the ideas presented in those articles are arranged here, that what previous researchers have done. Hypothesis, we give brief restatement and justification tied to earlier sections, explain derivation and implications. Scope of the study. We have discussed other previous researchers' work. Now we are going to do that those methods or those scientists which they have given their methods, those methods are not that much efficient as my or as our research is efficient. Objectives. The problem which we are going to solve, that what we are going to solve, and it must start with to know, to examine, to demonstrate, to quantify, etc. Chapter 3 includes material methods. As the name indicates, here we will discuss method of our research, that how we are going to do. It include introduction. Introduction of what? Introduction of our method, that what we are going to do and how we will do that. Design. Detailed description of the topic. Sample. From where we have taken our sample. Which process we use in sampling. Like it was either direct sampling. Direct sampling include that when sample is taken from actual population, or it may be called as raw sampling, or indirect sampling. Indirect sampling include that sampling which is done from the documents or already established data or record of the characteristic population. Measurements. Detailed description of indices and scales specify methods used to assess validity and reliability, may include tables and figures. Analysis. The techniques which are to be used, they are described here, and methods which are used to find our results are discussed. Tables and worked examples of statistics are examined here. Methodological assumptions. Now we have to discuss that previous researchers, they have adopted the method that was not much efficient, much useful as compared to our. So we have to impose limitations of the previous methods, and we have to discuss that how we are going to improve those limitations Those all limitations are generally discussed here. Chapter 4 includes results. We have to give brief overview of our study, that what we have done through tables, figures and graphs. Like what we have done in our thesis, that all part is discussed here in this section. And one thing which we must remember before giving titles to tables, figures and graphs is that we must put table title before inserting table, that we can say on the top side of the tables, and graphs and figures title in them. Another way we can say the results are actual statements of observations including statistics, tables and graphs. Results are actually answers of questions which were generally asked in introductory paragraph. In introductory paragraph, in introduction chapter 1, we have discussed that we have to discuss our research problem in question form, and that question is generally answered in this results section. Chapter 5, discussion. We mention all data that are related to our topic and discoveries which were done regarding a topic. Like we have to discuss what previous researchers have done, and we have to impose those limitations, and now we have to say that we are going to improve those limitations. Conclusion. It is just similar to result, but it does not include any tables, statistical information, mathematical calculation. We have to just give our investigation, summarize new observations, new interpretations, and in conclusion, we have to give further recommendation to our readers that in future what methods are possible to do. References and appendices. References include all the material which we have taken while doing research, while writing thesis. We have to cite all ideas, quotations, texts, data that do not belong to us. Like we have to give credit to all those researchers. Appendices include extra material related to our topic can be discussed here. Appendices contain material that is too detailed to include in the main report, such as long mathematical derivations or calculations, detailed technical drawings, or tables of raw data. The content should be summarized and referred to the appropriate point in the body of report. Bibliography. It is a list of all of the resources we have used in the process of researching our work. The bibliography must include the author's name, his topic, and year etc. It may include key articles if we consulted a large number of references but didn't cite all of them, and we want to list all those resource materials. So all those resource materials are given references here. Thank you so much.